Hello, YouTube. Modern Colonist coming back with another one. We're facing trying times in America today as millions of people will lose the only crutch that they've had to be able to survive, while millions of other Americans believe that they deserve to lose that. While there are people out there that parasite off our system, there are also people out there that try their best and cannot make it. They rely for their families to eat on that little bit of assistance that they get each month. I hope that you guys can find some empathy in your hearts for the families as we go into the winter that will not have Christmas this winter. But even more importantly, as millions of Americans celebrate their Christmas with their families this winter, there will be millions of other families that won't even be able to eat, let alone celebrate and have fun and have toys and make memories with their families. I hope that you guys can find it in your heart to realize that our politicians and our government is dividing our people and using us against each other to further their own agendas. Today in America, all I see on the internet is hatred. It creeps out into our daily lives and we experience this stuff for ourselves. What do we do as Americans today whenever we have half the people supporting one team and half the people supporting another team, regardless of what they each do wrong? They will still be supported. I'm trying to make the case to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are living under mass psychosis. Brainwashing, division, these campaigns will increase. To what end? To what end? Our people will be divided while half the people starve. One half of the people will support it and the other half of the people will be living in survival mode. Are we being prepared for something to happen in this country? Like the campaign of the current president to go into these crime-stricken cities and end the crime with federal enforcement, troops on the ground, whenever the laws that are being broken in these cities are not being enforced by the locality in which they are in. Calling for federal support to be able to end these crime waves whenever the local governments turn a blind eye. See, because I can see something coming in this country that is not good. I can see a people being prepared for troops on the ground in the name of safety and security. I can see now that our government has divided the population and they will pull back the benefits that have kept millions of Americans able to have a food on their plate each night. What is to come is very diabolical. Weaponized food riots, in my opinion, will happen in this country. The answer to these food riots will be what we have been desensitized to now. Troops on the ground. Troops on the ground, my fellow Americans. What does that mean for your freedom? What does it mean for your freedom whenever on every corner is an AI camera, 360-degree view on every street corner? Not owned by our government, not owned by our police, not asked for by you, not under your consent. Annihilation of your Fourth Amendment right to remain anonymous and not have searches unreasonably. These cameras have the ability to know everything about you. They're tied into social media. These AI algorithms know everything about us. If you are a wanted fugitive, which I am not advocating, but I am letting the free people of America know, If you are a wanted fugitive that is known to be around a certain person, and that certain person goes through a flock camera, that flock camera can trigger an alert to the local government to let them know that somebody who is not wanted is traveling through the area and they are a known associate of a wanted fugitive. They can pull you over for something stupid. The 1,000,000-page traffic booklets that say that they can pull you over for anything. A little rust on your license plate will give them probable cause to stop you. I'll argue that that is against our Fourth Amendment rights right there. Whenever we sign over for a driver's license, we are signing over to be able to do something that is otherwise unlawful without a license to do so. Why is it unlawful for our people to travel in their private conveyances? Well, it's because the lobbying of the insurance companies had made it such. We do not have freedom in this country whenever 1 million people can comment on a YouTube post, and only a handful of them are real, and the others are fake accounts meant to discourage the voice of somebody who is breaking out of the mind control system. Back to the flock cameras. These cameras have the ability to peer through your windshield and your windows in your car to be able to know if you are driving with somebody who has warrants, even if the car is not registered to them. These cameras are omnipotent. If you go past one, they know you, know who you are, know who you hang around, know what you are, what you like, your preferences. What they know about you is unimaginable, all in violation of your rights. And it's being done through private companies. This is how the government skirts around the Constitution. What is to come is, in my opinion, the most diabolical thing that can happen to a free people. Whenever free people willingly throw their rights out the window so they can have security. It's also my opinion that these systems that are going online now do not have the support of the people. But it's also my opinion that very shortly they will. And they will be demanded from our people to our government to put up on every single corner whenever major attacks start ringing out across our country. AI today makes videos that you cannot tell the difference of reality. That will be used as a weapon, as it already is. It will be used as a weapon to discredit the voices that are trying to expose this system that we're walking down right now. People will easily be able to say, you can't believe everything you hear. They will use this to discredit the voices of the people who are waking up to the system that we are giving to our children. Today will require you to think critically, which is not taught to us by our schools and our school systems. I also want to leave you guys with one final thing about how the authorities that be in the positions of power in our society look at the individual and the family, the mothers and the fathers. Last summer, I was on trial for shooting a dog in self-defense that was attacking a child. There were multiple witnesses in that case that said that this child was being attacked, even herself. Officers got on scene, they seen me, seen a gun, and they knew that I was a criminal. I was to be punished via the process. Because today, the punishment is the process, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever I had to go on trial, my life was upended. I was on bond, not knowing if I would spend the next 3 or 4 years of my life in prison while my daughter grew older without me. So, whenever I was acquitted at that trial, after testifying in front of 12 people, with my daughter in that courtroom, I made plans to go and spend time with her at the beach, in which we did. But whenever my trial ended was late summer, and we had to make plans for around the start of the school year. So my daughter missed her first week of school. Her mother, since my daughter is split between her mother and her father, also went for her birthday with her mother for a few days out of school. That is 7 days out of school. So whenever we went to parent-teacher conferences, we were scolded by the teachers that were in the room about her attendance and how it is important for my daughter to be in school. But whenever I thought about it, what about all the weeks that they have off school for holidays, for Christmas break, for Teacher's Day, for voting day, for whatever reason? That is inherently okay and does not harm the health of the child. There's millions of children that need to go to school each day to be able to eat. This isn't considered whenever these positions of authority will speak down on the family unit, the mother and the father. These people believe that they have the approval of the powers that be, the system that we live in, to criticize and attack mothers and fathers whenever they believe that it is important also for the child to be able to spend quality time with them whenever certain things happen in our lives that would prohibit us from being able to do that on a summer break, for say. Why is it okay for the government and the schools to be off for weeks at a time during the year, but whenever the mother and the father take their child out of school for 1 week to spend quality time with their child, this is demonized? The mother and the father are looked at as people who do not care about the education of their children. I will argue to you that it is every position of power in our society, lawyers, judges, and you can name whoever, that whenever you talk to them, speaks to you from a place of authority and speaks to you from a place of lack of knowledge, and they treat you as such. We are headed for trying times in this country. Please be ready for the persecution that you will face whenever you open your mouth and speak out against the division in our country and the fact that each side is a cult, and that the people in the middle who do not support either side are calling for a change, calling for unity. We would rather not support one man. We would rather support our neighbors that struggle to eat and feed their children. We live in a system, in a society, where you cannot speak out because you lack the knowledge required to do so. I wanted to give you guys this insight. Please ponder it. Please ask yourself, where and what category do you fall into? I would like to tell you that the black people of our community have more in common with our redneck white neighbors than they would like to believe, or than they've been led to believe. Guys, I love you. It's time for us to put the division down. Because if we do not, we will suffer the consequences of hating our neighbors and trusting the government. I love you guys. If you've stuck around to the end of this video, you are appreciated by me. I hope that I can bring some change with the knowledge that I possess. I hope that if you hear my voice, I've triggered something in you to be able to look at your neighbor a little bit differently now, because it's in your best interest to do so. I love you guys, and I'll catch you the next time. Be safe.